Let's get back to the Shara Bechina. Wait, how much start there? Chovos HaLevavos. What? Why is it about Zara? Any custom of goyim, if you don't understand the value, you have to suspect it's rooted in some pagan worship. That originally this was part of paganism. So even if they don't do it for that reason any longer, that's Torah violation. The Rama says in Yeridea that a doctor wearing a white coat, although non-Jewish doctors wear white coats, you understand, because it's sterile. If you understand why it has nothing, even though the non-Jew dresses that way, the doctor wears that kind of uniform, it's not a problem, because you understand why. But if the type of practice which you don't understand why, then you have no right to follow it. That's considered following the way of the non-Jew, because it's a run. It's a run of Avodah Zarah. We have to suspect it's rooted in pagan worship, and that's the reason why you're not permitted. So therefore, it has to do with eating turkey on Thanksgiving. Is a religious Jew permitted to eat turkey on Thanksgiving because it's Thanksgiving? So according to Rambam, it's not a problem, because you understand. You understand the history of why, freedom of religion. Okay, it's not a problem. Good, that's what I'm saying, because we understand. But if you wouldn't understand, okay? Okay, we left off 202, the third paragraph. He says, what we're able to come upon to our intelligence are many understanding of what Hashem is. Firstly, we know that the Creator is wise. Kayom, He exists. Echod, He's one. Kadmon, He's always been here. Yochol, He's capable. There's nothing beyond His ability. Lo yechaleu zman v'lo mokom. He's not consumed by time or location. Nalim midas habruim. He's exalted above all the characteristics and the qualities of anything in creation. Visrom machshavos hanimtzoim. He's exalted above anything that nimtzoim, in terms of what you're able to fathom. It's beyond a person's ability to even conceive who God is. The Ramchal writes in Das Tunos that after Chisa Mesim, Hashem Melech HaKol Oretz, and so on and so forth, we're going to have a whole different understanding of God. He says, but whatever understanding we're going to have, he says it's less, these are his words, less than a tipa shebiyam, less than a drop in the ocean to be able to fathom, even in the most perfect state, to be able to fathom God in terms of what He is, it's less than a drop in the ocean. So as a physical being, we have every limitation. There's no question we have no relevance even to begin processing who God is. Racham b'chanun, He's merciful, He's gracious. Meitiv, He does good. Lo yidme el dover, lo yizdame el dover. Nothing can be comparable to Him. Gam mehen shanachnu mivinim u'chochma. Even what we understand with wisdom, v'yecholes v'arachim kuyom ba'olam. And through our intelligence, due to everything, we understand the obligation of serving Him in an appropriate way. On behalf of the all-encompassing goodness and specific goodness, what each person individually is a beneficiary of. And through our intelligence, we're able to authenticate the truthfulness of God's Torah. Hanasula Moshe Nevi'u Olav HaShalom. interesting. You know, even the Karoyim, the Karaites, who originally were the Sadducees, they believed that Torah Shebechsav was divine. They took issue. What about Torah Shebal Peh, the oral law? But the written law is not a question. And therefore, but they took on the position it's open for everybody's interpretation. And if it factually it fits the words, that's divine. God said it's open to interpretation as long as you're able to interpret it, and the interpretation seems to have relevance to the text. That's God's will. That was the position of the Karoim, the Karaites, and the Tzdukim. Okay, Torah Shebal Peh. What about today? All the different movements, right? Reform movement. It was written at best by a man who was divinely inspired. Throughout the ages, there were different authors who had contributed different parts of the Torah. I mean, the Torah is so essential and basic. It's not just a prescription of life and it's good advice. If it's written by a person, a human being, then, you can take issue. Divinely inspired. But what? But it was written by man. It had to do with the human intellect. So, is it eternal? Is it something which you have to abide by? But if it's God's text and it's God's interpretation, you can't take issue with it. You can't argue with God. It's something which is irrefutable, and if that's the case, it's absolute in truth. So how do you reject it? How do you deny it? You can't. But how do you come upon that? You teach Gemara over the years. You meet all kinds of people, secular Jews. Even the Goyim know that the ultimate in intellectualism is studying the Talmud. There's no fallacy in the logic in the Gemara. Anybody, even among Goyim, they recognize this. As a result of that, if you want, in Korea now they're translating the Art Scroll into Korean, because the reason why Jews, they believe, are so smart is because they study the Talmud. Because the logic is so compelling and so correct and right. But what happens if the basis is what? The basis is all the oral interpretation. What's the text? What's the discussion? We're not talking about nursery rhymes over here. These are profound concepts to be continued.